Hello everyone, I'm home. Welcome back to my channel. I know I told you guys I would be back here on Saturday, but it didn't happen. And I don't know if you guys have ever had this happen, but do you ever feel like a little nudge from some family or friends, somebody that you know needs a little bit of help, and you just kind of feel this call to go help them, even though you weren't asked to? You just feel like, hey, I should go do that for them. Well, I had a situation where some people I know had a house that they let somebody move into and they didn't take care of it, that kind of thing. And they were having to get it all cleaned out by a certain amount of time. So for some silly reason, I woke up Sunday morning and thought, I should go help them. I should just go help them and see what I can do. So I got up and I had things to do on Sunday. I was going to work on some miniatures, but I put on some old clothes, got some cleaning stuff together, and I went and got my nephew, Brad. You guys haven't met Brad yet, but you're going to love him when I finally get him on my channel. And Brad's Mr. Clean. He's a clean freak, fanatic, and I knew he would help me. So I said, hey, Brad, you want to help me? And he said, sure, let me get my shoes. And I said, well, you better wait till I tell you what I need help with before you say yes. But I told him, and he was all gung-ho wanting to go. So he grabbed a bunch of cleaning supplies, and we took off for this place. And I'm telling you what, this place kicked our butts. We first thought, I told him, I said, we'll just go for 2 hours. We'll give him 2 hours, and we'll clean as much as we can. And this person left this place in really bad shape, and we just dug in and started, and we got a lot done. It was a lot different when we left, but it was a chore. And I got up this morning and I couldn't hardly walk. And I said we were going to give it 2 hours. We stayed 4 hours, almost 5. And we swept and we cleaned and we scrubbed and we just everything. And the locks had been changed, and they knew we were going in, but they forgot we didn't have a key. So my nephew had to reach around the door through a window that we got open, and we essentially broke in. But we got in there and we cleaned and we locked it back up, and they're going to be happy with what we did. But if any of you have not seen this girl on YouTube, you need to go watch an episode of her channel. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name. She says it real fast, and I've never really caught it, but this is what she looks like, and this is her channel. Please go over there and at least watch an episode, or you'll get addicted to it if you're like me and you like to see things cleaned up. She goes in, she calls herself the world's best cleaner, and I have to say she is. She goes into some messes. I'm telling you what. And she's so cute and so funny and so happy. She gets so excited when she finds a moldy, cockroach infested mess, maggots, it doesn't matter. She loves it. And if something's real dirty, but it's not dirty enough for her, she'll say, oh, I wish it was dirtier. But she gets all excited and says, yippee and yay. And she's thrilled with dirt because she likes to clean it. So I caught her one day and I started watching her. Now I have to watch her a little bit every day. And it really does make you want to get up and do some cleaning. But if you get a chance, go over and watch her channel and show her some love, because she's great. She has a really popular channel, and she's interesting, and she's pretty, and she's funny, and it's amazing what the houses look like when she gets started and what they look like when she's done. And she has a lot of good products that she shows you to use, and she's just an awesome cleaner. And my nephew, Brad, loves to watch her too because he thinks she's pretty. But he loves to watch her because he's that way. The dirtier it is, the more Brad wants to work on it. He can take on all kinds of messes. That's why I invited him to go help me clean. And he really helped me a lot, and we got a lot done. So I came home, and this morning I decided, well, I need to do a little spring cleaning myself. So I took some pillowcases out that I use on my bed in the summer and spring, and I washed them. And I did a little bit of ironing. I like to iron. Now, I don't like to iron clothes too much. I usually just throw those in the dryer. But I do like to iron. And I had some linens that I had picked up at the free bin a long time ago, but I don't think I've ever showed you these. This was a linen dish towel. And then I got these real pretty, brand new. They were 4 for 50 cents, blue napkins that are real pretty. And I washed them and dried them, and I need to iron these yet, but they are so pretty, and I thought they'd look pretty with my blue transfer wear. And then around the summertime, they'd look good with my red transfer wear. And then these white ones, well, they're kind of off-white linen. They were 4 for 50 cents at the Mission. They always have their napkins real cheap. And they have a real pretty little blue, like, embroidery on the edge. And I just think they're so pretty. I like linens. I'm always picking up linens. And then I think I showed you one time how I took little ribbon loops and sewed them on some of my dish towels and put a button on them so that I can hang them on a hook in my kitchen, because I want them close by. Like, I've got some hooks. They're like invisible hooks that hang on to the bottom of my cabinets, and so I can just reach down and I have a towel right there. And then they're nice to just hang on a hook up above. So yeah, I washed some linens this morning and ironed them and folded them all up and kind of straightened up my linen cabinet. And I get into that. I like to go in there and just work on my stuff. And then you guys were making the sweetest comments about my baby's pictures that I showed in my last video. And I thought I'd tell you a little story about this picture. My dad and his second wife, my mom passed away and he remarried. My stepmother's nephew owned a popular photography studio in our area, and my dad was in his late 70s at the time, and so was she. And they came by and said, we got these clothes for the boys. It was like on a Tuesday, and they said, we're going to get them all dressed and we're going to take them over and get the picture taken, and you don't know about it you're not going to see anything till the pictures come in. And I didn't want them to take them because I always worried about them driving and stuff. But they took off with them. But I helped them get the boys dressed. And Matthew, his little sleeves were too long, and they were hanging way over his hand. We tried to roll them up, and they wouldn't stay up. And then when we went to put Marcus's shirt on him, they were both chubby babies. But Matt was a lightweight chubby, and Marcus was a heavy chubby. And if you threw Matt up on your shoulders, he would just stay on near your shoulder. If you picked Mark up after him, he was heavy, and it was like they felt different, but they weighed about the same. Well, Marcus was so stout that we couldn't get his little shirt buttoned. So we had to cut his little white shirt up the back and leave it open. And I think I sewed some ribbon across there to hold it together, but it was split up the back. And we got him packed into his shirt, and his sleeves were too short, and his little vest was tight, but they were so darn cute. And I sent him off with Grandma and Grandpa, and they went to the studio, and when they got there, I guess that picture that you just saw, the guy got up on a ladder, and he laid them on the floor on a blue velvet blanket and took the picture from up above. And then this picture, these were two individual pictures. My dad held Marcus up, and they took a profile picture of him. Then he held Matt up, and you did the profile picture of him. And then this guy, he put both of those pictures together. He blended them together. And we just love him. I said Marcus looks like a little used car salesman. And Matt's little fat cheeks, I tell you. And they both have real thick hair now. And they're both 6 feet tall or taller. And they're just 24. They're going to be 25 years old. But I just thought I'd tell you that little story because it's always tickled me. And they got us the pictures for Christmas or something, and it was really great. So enough of that. I stopped at my friend Carl's the other day to give him some Christmas ornaments that have been hanging around in my trunk forever, waiting to give them to him. And I took some pictures of some pretty things in his home that are kind of like the things that I like. Carl and I kind of like the same things. And I would have taken a lot more pictures in his house, but I didn't. I had just kind of come at a random time, and I didn't want to take advantage of him and make him feel like he needs to straighten up or dust or anything. His house looked beautiful. He wouldn't have had to do that anyway. But this cabinet here was really pretty, and he told me he used to have it in his flower shop. So I'm sure I saw it there at one time. But these pictures hanging in their living room were so beautiful, and I could tell they were some kind of artwork or old prints. And he said that they were old wallpaper samples or old remnants of wallpapers that they had framed. And they're just beautiful. And I was going through his whole house looking at all of his artwork because it was so pretty. And I thought, man, I haven't bought any artwork, or I haven't seen any original artwork at Goodwill or any of the thrift shops lately. And this one is a piece of wallpaper, and I thought it looked like stained glass. And it was just so beautiful behind the glass. And they have just beautiful stuff all over their house. I'm going to have to take you on a tour. I know I've said that before, but like I said, this was just a random pop-in visit, and I didn't want to do it then. But he's got it decorated so beautiful. Has some of the same things that I like this beautiful platter. You know, I would buy something like that if I saw that in the thrift store. So I visited with him a while. He's always so much fun. He's got the most contagious laugh and the biggest smile, and we laugh and have a lot of fun together, and I really enjoyed my visit. So I left his house, and I thought, well, he lives real close to a Goodwill, so I better stop in there. And so I donated some stuff that was in my trunk, and I saw this sign, and I thought, this sounds like me and my girlfriends. We had breakfast together the other morning. I didn't ditch him this time, and I had breakfast with him. And it says, we're going to be really cool ladies someday. And then someone had bought or brought in and donated a whole bunch of vases that they had painted. I don't know what this was all about, if it was for a wedding. First I thought maybe they were decorations for wedding tables, but then I noticed there were some that were orange, brown. Then I found some white ones, and then I found some pink ones, and I don't really know, but they had painted a lot of vases and donated them back to Goodwill. They probably got them there in the first place. And I may have showed you this the last time or one of my videos before, but this plate has been there for quite a while. And I thought this was a really pretty crock bowl with a snowman on it. And then there I was at Carl's thinking how I hadn't found any original artwork. And I turned down the picture aisle, and here's an original watercolor. And it's just beautiful. The frame wasn't too pretty. I thought the frame was, I think it's metal around the edge, and I didn't like it at all. But I've got a whole box of frames in my garage, so I'll reframe it. But it's got my fruit and my pretty colors of red and burgundy and green. And it's a really nice print. It's about 11 by 14, I believe. And I thought, wow, I got a new piece of artwork, because I love to collect original artwork when I can find it. And then right next to it was this, and it's a print of St. Paul's Cathedral, a vanished view from Blackfriars circa 2002, a watercolor by Hans Rashbrook. And I looked him up, and he was a pretty prominent artist. I think he's still around and does work. And this was really pretty, but when I first looked at it, I thought it was an original watercolor, but it's a print. But that's fine. I'm happy to have it. It's beautiful. And I looked up the information online so I could read about the cathedral and where it was and everything, and it's really interesting. You should look him up. He's got some beautiful artwork. But look how beautiful this is, and that's all done in watercolors. I paint with watercolors, but I can't do that detail like he did. I'm more like the girl with the fruit. But it's signed by Hans Rashbrook, and it's number 172 out of 850, and it's just got the most beautiful detail, and I really love it. And I like to learn about different artists that I've never known about before. And then here's my little crock bench that I made. Remember when I made that last fall and I put all the crocks and pumpkins on it, and I was so happy with it? Well, the other day I went to move some stuff on it, and the bottom shelf broke. It was too heavy. It had too many crocks on it. So I took it out in the garage, and by the time I got all the stuff off of it, got it out in the garage, it was wobbling and swaying back and forth, and it needed stabilized, and I wasn't sure how to do it, so I had to go online and learn how to do that. So I had to put a new piece of wood on it, and then I took most of the nails out of it, and I put some real thin screws in it and redid the whole darn thing. But it's sturdy now, and I think it's going to hold my crocks, but it was quite an ordeal. I hate it when I don't do something right the first time. I should have looked it up online to see how to keep it stable, but I didn't. And it broke. So here's my porch in the evening. I'm already cleaning my porch and the wind's blowing like crazy out here. And I took all the flowers and all the stuff from winter and all the greenery and put that away and started getting out some spring stuff. And this is a rose from last year's garden, but I'm telling you, I can't wait for flowers and all the pretties. I have sat out on the porch a few nights and till it gets so windy that I can't take it. I like to sit out there, have a drink, and read or write or work on a video for you guys. But I am going to work on some miniatures this week. But the cleaning thing kind of took over and made me mess up my week, basically. And I kept thinking about you guys and thinking, I told them I might do a miniature, but I didn't get into my miniature room. I just didn't have time. So I will say this, though. When I got home from cleaning that house, I thought I'll be tired and want to take a shower and just hit the bed. But you know what? I came home and started cleaning my house. I thought I don't ever want it to get like that. So even though I let the impromptu cleaning fiasco change my week, it made me feel really good to be able to help. And I felt so good when I got home, even though I was tired. And I know Brad, he felt really good. And I'm going to get Brad on here. I told him, I said, Brad, I want you on my channel. And he said, nope, I'm not being on that channel. Nobody's going to see me. Well, I want him on here because you guys will love him. We love him so much, and he helps me so much. Brad's just wonderful. So until next time, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel if you subscribe. And I love you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I will get my week going a little better and not throw a wrench into it. So I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. See you soon.